Hello, everyone. So glad you're here. Yes, this is a really special live that we're doing. Is that Diane? I had actually, how long ago did I? How long? It was like 2 months ago.
I have a 3-month waiting list. So yeah, it was sort of about 3 months
It was
ago.
it was quite a ways ago that I had
And I didn't know it
asked
was
her.
you. When you booked
Right.
on my website, I didn't know it was you.
I knew that it was going to be like after the election and all of that and stuff like that, and that was before you had invited me to your channel, so it
Right.
was before that. So and as I was thinking about it, I was like, you know what, I think this is a great opportunity to showcase Diane's beautiful way of reading and how she does it, and I can be vulnerable as long as don't tell the bad stuff, but but I can show, I can also be very vulnerable in being transparent, of course, on my channel as
Yes.
well. So I am going to hand this over to Diane. Diane's going to kind of direct how it all goes, and I hope everybody that is in the chat really, really enjoys this. And I am very grateful for Diane saying yes, she would do this. So it's all yours, Diane.
All right. Thank you, Sheila. So
You're welcome.
so excited to be here, first of all. So oftentimes before I go to do a reading, I will get visits from beings, people that are important to the client. And so I started a few days ago getting different visitors for you. And they're so diverse. I'm always looking for spirit guides, right? Because spirit guides give the most useful information. And you just have so many different spirit guides. You certainly have multiple. But I did realize that when one showed up and was blue, I had a really good idea where you come from. So I did have a chat with one of your spirit guides. So for those of you that don't watch me, I do have a really strong connection with extraterrestrials, the ones that are like the sixth density usually. So sixth density is like the angels and the Ra that I channel. So you had an Arcturian come to me. And so that's where you come from. I had a nice chat with this Arcturian. And that is
What is it,
your
Arcorian?
Arcturian. So
Arcturian. Okay.
Arcturian. They are up in the same realm as Palladians, angels, the Ra that I channel. They are very good with technology. They are obviously ancient beings. They do have some connection to ancient Atlantis and Lemuria, the Mayans, certain Native American tribes. And they've really been helping humanity since the beginning. And so I wasn't really too surprised that that's where you come from. I do get a lot of Palladians too, but not with you. You were just like all Arcturian. And I think that even though you do like intuitive work, there's a very practical side of you, and Arcturians are extremely practical beings. So that made a lot of sense to me. You also had a Native American guide that came to me.
Mm-hmm.
And so I don't know if you have any connection to Native Americans, because watching your channel, I didn't pick up on that. But there is
I
a Native American guide.
I am connected to the Native American community. I don't have any
Oh.
DNA. I don't have anybody in my path, right now currently, but I am connected to the Native American community where I do sweat lodges and things like that. So that would make sense.
Oh. And that's your Arcturian background showing through in your present life, because many Native Americans usually either come from Arcturus or the Pleiades, and so you are connecting with the Arcturian ones. Um, yeah, really exciting. And then you actually had four different beings. So number three, Archangel Michael. Once
Ooh.
again, not somebody that I would have picked up for you, because usually when I get a lot of angels, the person is Palladian. Um, and so I said, well, how did you get connected with Sheila? Like, why are you here? Because your energy feels a bit different. And Michael said he was actually sent from your husband.
Oh.
And so when I started to look a little deeper, your husband has sent 4 angels in your house, like on your property, in your house, like sort of taking up like the 4 corners. of your property, and they do come into your house, and they have this overwhelming protective energy. And so that made your husband start to come through. So I asked him about that. I was like, well, why did you do that? And he said, when he was alive, he was always worried about your safety. He was so worried about your safety when he was here. And he is still worried on the other side. And so he has sent these beautiful angels, strong, really just overwhelming how strong their energy is to just protect you. And so I don't know, in life, was he really worried about your safety and protection? Because that's what just kept coming up.
He was a soldier, and
Oh,
he was a soldier, and he was the first boots on ground when the war started in Afghanistan. And so
okay.
he has that
That
protection.
protective energy. Yes. I mean, this energy was so like, I mean, there's protective energy and then there's this. Because I've had other beings come in that are good protectors, but I'm like, this, I got the feeling like of armor and shields.
Yeah.
And Archangel Michael did make a point of showing up with his sword, which he doesn't usually with me. I don't, because first of all, I don't really connect that much to Michael. I usually channel Raphael or Gabriel. But he made this point of just coming to me looking very, I guess, soldier-like. He had the
armor.
breastplate and the sword. Yeah. So
And my
let me.
daughter is also special needs, literally. So I'm
And
pretty
she's
sure.
on your property.
Yes.
Okay, so he is just because he's saying, I worried about her safety when I was alive, and he still is. And so he's not going to let anything happen to you. So I started to get into your energy a little bit because I didn't really have a choice. Everyone just kept kind of showing up to the party at that point.
Yay!
And you have so many layers of protection, which I think you probably know because I'm assuming you put some of them there. But Archangel Michael put some, your husband put some, the Native American put some. And so, like, you just have layer after layer. I saw 8 layers of protection. And so nobody's really going to be able to mess with you. I would almost like caution people when I see that much protection around someone, if they were to like throw a curse at you, it is going to bounce back and hit them so hard. It would be scary.
Right.
I would think.
I have the mirror protection. The mirror protection is where the mirrors are faced out. So if you
Because
are
I got
going to
if it
do,
bounced back.
yep, if anybody was going to do a reading on me without my permission, you're just reading on yourself. So whatever you get is reflected back to you. So
And
that
that's
was
what I
your,
saw.
yeah,
Because I saw it like bouncing back. Like, okay, so it was a mirror.
yeah,
Interesting. That
yeah.
makes a lot of sense. And so the fourth being that I saw, and this is like really a lovely spirit guide that did have a human life. She didn't tell me which star system she came from because I think she wanted to focus more on her connection to you and her connection to this planet. Her name was Brigid, like Brigid. Um, Clearly a Celtic connection. She told me she has a connection to Newgrange, and I had to look that up because I didn't know what Newgrange was. Because if you don't, for those of you that don't know, I wake up every morning crazily at 4 a.m. and I start channeling and doing this kind of work. Yeah, you too. Yeah. And so like whoever comes in, comes in. And so yeah, Bridget comes in and she's telling me about Newgrange. And so I had to look up. Newgrange is a prehistoric mound. It's like a monument in the County Meath in Ireland. It's from 3200 BC. And so I think some of the like ancient priestesses in Ireland would use this site because she made a point of like pointing out this location that I had never heard of. And she is with you a lot. She is probably the one that's with you the most when you're doing your intuitive work.
Yeah, I believe you with that because I hear the Ireland and the Celtic, what is it called when you have an accent? I hear that
Like that
accent
lilt. Yeah, she has that
constantly with
lilt.
me.
Yes.
Yes, constantly.
Right. And, she does almost look like a druid in that sense with like the cloak and, the hood going over her and like that heavy woolen, dark green cape that she wears. But really loving and beautiful, very compassionate, but also very wise and very spiritual. Not religious, but spiritual.
Yes.
And so I think, a lot of your spiritual gifts have probably been helped along by Bridget.
Well, thank you, Bridget.
Yes. All right. So now that we got that out of the way, all of your friends on the other side. Gosh, so many. Okay, so what was your first question for me?
Well, I have three. So I have the first
Okay.
question would be, is my YouTube channel, can you read on that and see what, possibly how it's going? What is it, what is it going to look like or whatever, the YouTube channel. See what's
So
going
the
on with
very
that.
first word that I hear is morph.
More.
Morph.
Oh, good.
Morph. Like MORPH. Morph.
Oh,
So it's
morph.
so going to go through like this metamorphosis, I think, where this makes sense. As politics calm down, you're not going to have to keep reading on politics. So then it's going to leave the door open for you to do more.
Okay.
So I guess more is a good word. Um, yes. So more and more. And teaching. I'm hearing the word teaching. I do see you
I've
teaching a class.
I have felt that, and I'm one of those unorthodox teachers, so I would definitely be up to just teaching it my way, I guess. I don't know how else to
Yes.
say it. Yep.
Okay, so let me pull some cards here. Okay. All right, this is good. These are good cards. Very good.
Good.
Yeah. It's not, yeah, not like when I do Trump. Like the first thing when I do readings on people, they're always like, wow, it's nothing like when you read on Trump. And it's like, well, no, because you're not him. Um, so very first card, the sun. So enlightenment. And the baby talks about new beginnings, which is sort of what I was getting. Like, okay, things are going to change. You're going to be able to really grow. Because doing political readings, you can only go so far, you can only do so much. So I think that's what it's referring to. Your obstacle, I love this, the Hierophant. He is all about conforming. So when you just said you're like an unorthodox teacher, well, yeah, I can see why he would be the obstacle in that case. Outcome, rebirth and renewal, the Judgment card. So it's going to be changing. And when I asked, okay, well, like how? And I get the Empress. So abundance, fertility, the seeds that you're planting now are going to really be growing in the future, 2021. And, this would be profitable too, because she always, comes up when there's money to be had because she is about abundance. And then I also got the Fool, taking that leap of faith to go on a new journey or a new adventure. And so, yeah, I think there's some changes, but it's all going to be so good. And you get to be more of who you are and really offer the talents that you have and
Oh,
not just be
good.
limited by reading on one topic.
Good. Good, good,
Does that,
good.
does that make sense?
It does make sense. I was just kind of wondering what Spirit has in mind, of how my channel is going to evolve. Now, is it? I guess that's a good answer.
Yeah,
Very
I
good
don't
answer.
think, things will probably stay the same. I get for like the next few months. I don't see like a major shift in the next 3 months, which would make sense, right? Because there's still politics to be read on.
Oh,
But
yes.
once that sort of changes, then you can actually start doing more. And I think it's going to be really good for you. So,
I have ideas for my YouTube channel just falling into my head constantly. I go, oh, that would be great. That would be great. Just like this right here was just one of those fall into my head idea. I'm like, I wonder, these are
Yeah.
the things that have been kind of coming through. So,
Right, because I think
yay.
you're so open to getting that guidance from all those
Yes.
wonderful beings on the other side. And as long as you remain open, you'll keep getting that guidance and just trust, be the fool, have that faith to take that leap and do something a little different. Because I really do see you teaching.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Yay. Thank you. So I know that we covered a little bit, but is there anything else from my husband that
Oh,
you've gotten any?
let me see. Yeah, because the only thing I really talked to him about was he was very concerned about your safety and well-being. Um, he didn't give me much beyond that. So let me just tune into his energy.
Okay.
Oh, wow. He actually comes pretty strong. Um, have you felt that his energy is like really strong?
He's
Like I can
on me
actually,
right now. Yeah, the
oh,
holidays he's always when the holidays are here, he gets really really close to me. So,
yeah, like he is both like coming up to my right shoulder blade, which is like kicking in my third eye chakra. Um, but it's interesting that he knows how to do that. That must be from you.
probably I've directed, yeah.
Because I'm like, wait, he's stimulating my third eye chakra. That feels a little weird. Okay. He has a dog. He is showing me that he has a dog. Um, did he like animals? Because I'm actually seeing a few animals around him. I'm definitely seeing a dog, but it seems like he has animals from like past lives with him too.
He might have, but when he passed, we had Babe, which was she was a pit bull, and she was very 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 old. And when he passed, she stopped eating.
Okay.
And
This
so
is
I
like a
had to,
muscular dog.
yep. So
Okay.
sorry. I'll get through it. So I had to make a hard choice of putting her down because
Okay.
she stopped eating. She just literally stopped eating. And I couldn't watch her waste away. And I remember the day I did it, I was like, you better be there to get her.
So this is validation because he came up with this muscular type dog. Um, oh, her connection was not to you, it was to him.
Oh yeah.
He's saying, I put her in my soul contract. We have had lives together. And she's working on going up the densities, right? So animals are second density. We're third density going into fourth. He's part of that process of helping her get into third density. That's their stuff. Oh, it's such a sweet connection. Um, he had several lives. He also had several lives as a soldier. She was by his side when he was a Roman soldier. And he had a Native American life. And she was a wolf in that life.
Oh, she was a wonderful dog.
Oh
But
gosh.
she was his. I was
Yeah.
I was the annoyance that hung around.
Because you weren't in her soul contract. You
No,
were
I
there
was the
along for the ride.
right. I was the person who annoyed her. Like, why do you keep on showing up?
Yeah. I mean, she had this really long connection with him. And their contract is to help her evolve from second density, from being an animal to third density. And
Oh,
so I feel
good.
like she's about to make that transition. Um, and you don't have a dog now,
Me? Oh, I have several.
do you?
Oh yeah.
You're not, it's not the dog that you're going to have. You're getting another dog.
Oh,
Um,
I'll take them all.
because I can see another dog, and I'm like, and this is a very different kind of dog. This is a dog that you did put in your soul contract. Um, I am not feeling such a big connection between the dog you have now and your soul per se. This dog is going to be from like a past life. This, yeah, this it feels sort of like a husky type dog. So don't be surprised if down the road, sometime in like 2021, either you feel like very strongly about getting like a husky sort of dog, or one just appears on your doorstep, because there's one coming. This
I'll
one's
take
gonna,
it.
yeah, like it almost, this dog's energy is so strong, it's like wiping away the other dog's energy. Interesting. So let's see if your husband has anything else to say, because he did want to, I think, validate that the dog is there and she's good.
Good.
Yeah. He's saying, I have no plans on reincarnating down there anytime soon.
I knew that.
He said that when he crossed over, he had to go to the healing center that's over there. It did take him a little bit to make that transition into spirit. He didn't want to go. I think he sort of feels like he left before his time, even though at many levels he had made peace with it, but not truly. And he said, he did write his contract to not be here during this time of transition, because he didn't need to be. He's already transitioned to fourth density. That's why. So, good. Yeah, when he comes back, the planet will be fourth density at that point. Good. So he has evolved, and he's doing a lot of work on the other side too. He certainly strikes me as a light worker, and yeah, he is showing me. I've had a few spirits recently show me this, that they are sending all sorts of good energy down to our planet right now. It's like there's some sort of like organized groups on the other side doing this. He's part of one of those groups.
Good.
And it's just like such like his energy is so protective. It's amazing. He's sending like all this just protective, like helping energy. And he is saying that he is directing it specifically, his group is directing it specifically towards healthcare workers. Good. He's showing me like EMTs, nurses, doctors. He feels like they're the ones that need the biggest boost at this time. His energy is almost similar to an EMT's energy. I don't know if you're...
He wasn't an EMT, although when he was in Afghanistan, when he had first boots, what he did was he went, the IEDs that was on the road where it blew up all of the vehicles, he was first responder to that. And so that would make sense that
his energy feels like an EMT's, and I'm like, wait, but that's not what you just said. Okay, yeah, he has like EMT energy.
Yeah. He was first responder. It's
that good, like, that helpful, loving, protective energy that you would want in an EMT, right?
Yep. Yes.
Wow. Okay. So what else?
Well, the only other thing I have. Thank you, Diane. I mean, this is incredible. I just want you to know.
I always like make people cry, and I'm so sorry because like I don't mean to do that to people.
It's healing tears. It really, really is healing tears, and I'm grateful for the opportunity to have that opportunity to have great healing tears. And good. This is absolutely wonderful. The only last one I have was like a general reading on me. If you wanted to do that, and
let's do a Celtic cross.
Okay, let's do it.
We'll see what's coming up for you, and all right.
And thank you, everybody in the chat. I know we're not paying attention because I'm very engulfed on what Diane is telling me. So,
and I'm not looking at all because I'm just completely connected to her energy.
But just know that we know that you're there, and we're very grateful.
the other energy? Yes, Bridget actually just mentioned this to me. I can count on one hand how many times I've seen this with people. You have the fae with you. And so wonderful fairies. Now I know there's two types of fairies. There's the kind that are, scary and mean. But the vast
Mischievous.
right, like they make some trouble. No, these are actually the good ones that they're saying we sprinkle your life with synchronicities. If you ever see like repetitive numbers like 111 or 1234 or something like that, that's them.
Diane, that's my life.
Oh, that's the fae. Yes, the fairies are sprinkling your life with synchronicities is what they're saying.
888, 777, 111, 333, all of it.
They're saying because they
Constantly.
want you to remember your magic.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It does draw me in. It does, like my subscriber number, okay, just to be like, it would come back, and one day it was like 888. I'm like, you know what I mean? Or, anything in, yeah. Wow. Cool.
Yes, I meant to tell you that because I don't normally, because it ended up being like such a long channeling session where all these beings kept coming in, and I forgot about that.
Thank you.
Yes. All right, I'm just going to do a couple of clarifier cards.
Okay.
I know, because you always think of those numbers as being angel numbers. That's what people always say, but
I do.
no, these are fairies. These are fairies.
I've been drawn to fairies until somebody told me that they were mischievous, and I thought, I don't
There's
want
two
none of
types.
that.
There's two types. The vast majority is good.
I'm like, I don't need any help on that end. You know what I mean?
Yeah, right. I know. Those two. But I think that could be some of that Celtic Irish energy too coming through. Oh, let me see. Okay. So here we go. The card that represents you right now, Two of Wands. So twos, you're at the beginning of something. And the Two of Wands, he's really just looking at the globe. He's looking over his kingdom and trying to come up with a plan and a strategy. He's trying to think about what am I going to do next? And I think this is really talking about your YouTube channel and how you're going to be growing it and changing it and what it's going to end up becoming. And you really are just at the beginning of it. And, it has a lot further to go. Which is great. Your obstacle right now, I'm almost wondering, has it been like a challenge right now for you to meditate? Have you had any challenges with meditating or quieting your mind?
I have. It's almost like I invited 8,000 people into my life, and being an empath, I've had that journey to find my energy back.
Right. Okay. Because it's coming up in the obstacle position. And oftentimes this card, when I'm reading someone like you, it oftentimes can reflect meditation and some of their spiritual practices.
Yeah.
Because it's a card of like going within. And so, yeah, I think
we all have to go through it. Apparently, every reader that I've talked to, we all have to walk through that, that energy that we invite, and also making sure that we stay, separate and solid from that energy in order for us to invite them back in. Does that make any sense?
Absolutely. And what I do is I actually only engage with that energy at set times during the day.
See,
like
I just needed.
I never look at anything to do with YouTube after 8 p.m.
Oh.
I never look at it until I've done my morning meditations because it's too much. And if people start being too negative in the comments, like when you start getting the trolls and whatnot, I just turn off the comments. I can't. I just can't entertain that energy.
Makes so much sense. Makes so much sense.
I'm so protective of my energy. So your conscious thoughts, Page of Swords, you striking it out on your own, making that new path, forging a new way for yourself. So you're
Yeah.
very much thinking about, moving forward and how your path is going to go and where it's going to go. Subconscious thoughts, Three of Wands. I really think this is you leaving behind anyone and anything that doesn't serve your highest good. I think you've gone through a spiritual awakening, you've seen reality for what it is, and you're not going to entertain people or situations that are toxic. That's how I take this,
Correct. Very correct.
which is a huge spiritual lesson.
And the Diane, the thing about walking that, yeah, that walking that path, you're so right on with this, because that was my go-to for the beginning of the this year. Was that's it. I'm done with that. I'm done with that. Is that once I engage with something that does not follow who and what I am, they fall away. I find that
Yes,
they're the ones telling me I gotta go. I'm like, oh, I don't have to tell them to go. They're leaving on their own.
right. And it's almost like if you set your intentions and your energy to a certain point, you'll be almost like repulsive to people that are second, third density, I call them. The people that aren't going to graduate, the people that are so afraid of like socialism, the ones that are really scared that someone might get a free meal or a free education, that like, because that's how I literally set my channel, is that I make sure that my vibrations at a certain way that those people just find repulsive, and it seems to work.
They do. Yeah, they adamant they're the ones leaving, and I
They
don't have to
are.
do the hard
Yeah,
work anymore. And I'm like, hey, I wish I would have figured that out in my 20s.
right. Yes, I mean, you would have saved yourself a lot of
A
heartache.
lot of trouble.
All of us. So, in the past position, Three of Swords, you went through heartache and heartbreak, and I think that's pretty obvious. Um, but also, too, where it's showing up in today's reading, it also kind of tells me that maybe there's a little heart chakra work that needs to be done,
Yeah.
a little more healing, which is a process. It's never going to just end. Um, but it is showing up, that energy is showing up today. But going forward for like the next 3 months or so, really beautiful energies. Like your life is going to become like so calm and harmonious and balanced. You get the Temperance card, you know,
Yay.
right? All about balance and harmony. And then it's really funny because I mean you get these two angelic beings. The Strength card, you do have the strength and the courage that you need to go through what you're going through and to make the changes with your channel and in your life, but it's going to feel good at the same time. It's going to, like you didn't get a tower moment. It's just going to be like this nice, peaceful, smooth transition.
Transition. Good. That's
Yeah,
exactly what I have manifested. Let me tell you. It's like
good. Yes,
we're gonna go at this a little less chaotic.
right. I mean, I would have been a little bit more concerned if, you got like a tower or something, but no. I mean, you get these two beautiful angelic creatures. So,
Yeah.
um, the way you see yourself, for me, the Queen of Swords is someone who sees both sides of an issue. The sword is double edged. She's intelligent, she's analytical, she looks at everything. She doesn't just take things for their face value, she looks below the surface. And so that's a really great card to have. How people see you is really great too. The Justice card.
Oh,
You're someone who's fair, balanced, ethical, sees both sides of the issue because his sword is also double edged. And so that's a really
nice.
beautiful way to have people see you. Hopes and fears. Um, I would say this is a hope. The Judgment card, rebirth and renewal.
Hmm.
It's sort of like almost having like a death and a rebirth within your own life. And that's sort of what
Yes.
I'm seeing. It's like you're ending one phase of your life, like that phase is coming to an end, and you're starting this brand new phase. And and obviously, it's one where you speak your truth because your outcome, Ace of Swords. Uh,
Yes. I am a
I mean,
truth teller.
right. I mean, you are speaking your truth. Your throat chakra is nice and healthy in the future. So that's fantastic. And then,
Good.
I mean, how beautiful is this? You get two aces. Aces are about new
Oh,
beginnings. So a financial new beginning, getting financial offers. And so not just are you speaking your truth, but the universe is rewarding you for it.
oh, thank goodness.
I know, right? I mean, you literally didn't get anything negative. Your next few months
Yay.
looks beautiful, and then next year looks even better. So,
Oh, Diane, this has been
yes.
fantastic. Thank you so, so
Oh, you're
much.
so welcome.
Oh my goodness. Is there anything else that you would think that we should do, or is there?
Let me see. Let me see if there's any other messages. The fairies are actually saying that it is them that is causing those people to fade away from your life.
Oh, thank
Um,
goodness. They get to do the hard work now.
yeah, I mean they're small but mighty, and there's quite a few of them. And I don't know what this means, but they're all in blue. They're showing me that they're all wearing blue.
Maybe they're Democrats.
I was thinking more to do with your throat chakra.
Okay.
They're helping you to speak your truth. I was thinking that, but they could be Democrats. Um, so funny. Um, Let me pull just a couple more cards and see if there's any last messages for you.
Okay.
I actually think these fairies work pretty hard for you.
Oh, good. Good, good. Maybe ask them at the end of all this, is there anything that I can do for them? Because I know how hard they have to follow me.
When you said that, they started showing me flowers. They're saying that really like
Flowers.
flowers.
Well, I plant a new rose bush almost every summer for whoever wants to enjoy them.
I think they probably are. Um, they really do enjoy flowers.
Okay, cool.
I don't know what this means. They're saying don't forget about aromatherapy. Um, I don't know if you've ever dabbled in aromatherapy, but
I've thought
I
about it.
yeah, that's them. They're giving you that thought. I think that's why they're showing me the flowers, and they're saying don't forget about aromatherapy. That works too.
Okay.
Huh.
Well, my new dog Pilar, um, she was like this runaway from the Humane Society girl, and I've been using a little bit of aromatherapy for her to relax her in the house. Because I have no idea
Oh,
what she's been through, but she does seem traumatized at some point. So maybe that's what that's what they're talking about. Is I've been doing that for her, the lavender, the mint green, all of that for her. I just kind of spray her area around to give her some of that
um,
aromatherapy.
her her previous life didn't have consistency and predictability,
Oh, good.
and I think probably the best thing you can do is just be extremely consistent.
Okay, I can
It
see
seems
that
like
in her.
whoever had her before, it was hit or miss when she got fed. It was hit or miss when she was let outside. Um, she needs a schedule. She needs like a really strict schedule so she has that sense of safety from routine. Uh,
I can definitely see, and my house is as scheduled as
mine
anything.
too.
I mean, even the mice know that nope, I can't go here because she knows we're on her. The mice, because Colorado's full of mice. They're
Oh
like,
my
you can't go
gosh,
there.
yes, my cat Annie caught one, and yeah, but she didn't kill it.
Of
I
course
mean,
not. She brings it to you for a present.
well, I heard it squeaking and I heard the ruckus. So I go downstairs and the poor thing's bellied up, and I thought it was dead, but it wasn't. Oh, yeah, you gotta love cats. So
Nice. Yeah.
I mean I love mice. It was just a cute little brown field mouse. I
Yeah.
was like, oh,
Exactly.
I mean, if I have to do like mouth to mouth on this thing, I mean, I'm a vegan, right? So I save everything. And I'm like, don't you dare put me in this position. It's like 1 o'clock in the morning. I'm like, I'll be driving to some vet somewhere. Uh,
Of course. And the vet's going, what?
I save
That's
everything.
funny. That is funny.
So, card that represents you going forward into 2021, Four Pentacles. And to me, this is just a card of like well-being. It's like financial well-being, mental well-being, physical well-being. Um, so, I mean, well-being is a good way to go into next year.
Oh, well, yeah.
Your obstacle at this moment, Ace of Swords. So, yeah, I think your channel's really going to be changing, and you're really going to be speaking your truth and really coming out,
Oh, good.
coming out of whatever box you've sort of put yourself in with politics, which we've
Yeah.
sort of all kind of done in some way.
Yep.
And then outcome, looking further out. Here we go again, getting good news about money, Page of Pentacles.
Okay.
So your finances are definitely looking up next year, without a doubt.
Wonderful.
And also too, emotionally, Ace of Cups, like an emotional new beginning. And,
Oh, good.
I think that could mean a few different things, but I would definitely say I would tie it into the Ace of Swords for sure, where you're allowed to be yourself more and you're really giving yourself that permission. But also too, having good relationships.
Good.
So your next year looks really beautiful, and just you get to be more of who you are, which is why you're here.
Good.
Yes.
Good. Yay.
And you should never feel alone. Oh my word.
This is true. Well, I've given up dating and getting into a romantic relationship for this way of life. It's not like it was like a choice, like I'm doing this instead. It was just an energy shift where like I'm done. I have no desire whatsoever to have a boyfriend or another husband or anything of that nature. I have full-heartedly just kind of went into this, so it makes sense. The reason why all of that energy and all of that is coming up is because I'm able to do that. I'm able to put forth all of that into what I'm doing now. So.
And when you're spiritually fulfilled, you don't necessarily, you don't have that hole inside of you that you're trying to get someone to fill for you.
Correct.
And so what's nice about that is when you do meet someone, you're meeting on a very even playing field. It's not where like they have to try to fill those spots in you that are lacking. You're meeting as equals. And
that's exactly what somebody told me was I need to be this solid person. And if that ever does happen, it's not going to feel like I'm going to lose anything. It feels like I'm going to be equal with the energy, and like just like you said. So yeah.
Yes, and I do have a feeling it's going to be with another Arcturian. And when you
good.
meet someone from your soul family, your soul just feels like it's coming home. It's like that little spark. And I don't necessarily believe in soulmates, but I think that when you meet someone from your soul family, and it doesn't even have to be in a romantic way, you just feel something. And so I think that's what you're in for when you're ready, because you have complete free will.
Yeah. I'm like I was saying before in another video of mine, I was like, I'm hard to live with. You can't lie to me.
Right?
I mean, I can see that BS a mile away. You know what I mean? So,
and if you're like me, you probably live like a weird lifestyle. I mean, I wake up at 4 a.m. I meditate for 2 to 3 hours. I have a very set schedule. I do a lot of readings throughout the day. I do a lot of channeling work.
Yes. Yeah, I do too. I have that weird lifestyle where it's all about metaphysical and all the woo-woo stuff. Yeah, I get it. All right, my dear. Is it?
All right.
This has been amazing.
Yay!
I just really want you to do that. This has been absolutely amazing, and I hope everybody in the chat really enjoyed themselves and enjoyed the reading. And yeah. So I guess, yay!
Well, it was a pleasure, and thank you for having me on. And we should switch this around. You should come onto my channel and read me.
Well, that would be awesome. That would be
so much fun. Yes.
I don't do all that you do, but I do like regular readings, so that would be
I'll take a regular reading.
There you go. All right, everyone. See you later. Stay there, Diane.
All right.
Hang in there. Hang in there. So thank you, everybody, for joining us, and thank you for the moderators, and see you later.